And they're off. The Nile crocodile easily outswims the hippo. They're swimming upstream against a heavy current. But the croc's body is built for swimming through rough water. It weighs as much as 2 refrigerator freezers and is thought to be the heaviest reptile on Earth. It can swim up to 22 miles per hour. The hippo can't swim. Not really. It just walks on the bottom of the river and pushes off from any big rock it finds. It can close its nostrils whenever it wants to be able to glide a bit through the water, but it's no match for the croc. The croc reaches the shore and starts running through a field. But better make way, the hippo's catching up. It's speeding across the flat terrain. Even though it's huge, the hippo can outsprint a human. The croc was miles ahead, but the hippo's faster on foot. The hippo breaks through the ribbon. It's all over! Beep beep! Hey there, roadrunner! What you running from? Wait, hold everything. That coyote is catching up fast. He's right on your tail. The greater roadrunner can run up to 20 miles per hour, even faster when it's really hungry. Despite what you see in cartoons, a coyote is actually twice as fast as a roadrunner, but the cartoon version is way funnier. In Lane 1, from the dense jungles of South America, the ever-slow sloth. And right underneath him, in Lane 2, we have a typical garden snail. And the race is on for the slowest animal on Earth. With the sloth's top speed clocking in at 0.2 miles per hour. It's no wonder they call it a giant moving pillow. Well, I call them that. The snail's off to a good start. It can cover a small neighborhood in about an hour. This boneless creature has only 1 foot, which is covered in protective slime. It's too blurry to see, but I think the sloth is still in the same spot. And now it's asleep. It'll probably be asleep through the whole race. A sloth can snooze it up for 15 hours a day. It's asleep for more than half of its life. And look, the snail got out of that sunny patch. Next up, a shady patch. Ooh, it's too close to call. We'll have to wait till the sloth wakes up to get back to this race. A grizzly bear can easily outrun a human. If you're at a picnic and you cook up something a little too yummy, better leave your lunch behind. The fastest a human can sprint is 28 miles per hour, set of course by Usain Bolt, so he'd probably be able to run away in time. If you're slower than him, which you are, then you're in trouble. In a one-on-one sprint between a human and a grizzly bear, you're going to be the bear's lunch every time. But out of all the bears, which one's the fastest? Polar bears, grizzly bears, brown bears, sun bears, and the cute cuddly panda bear. On your marks, get set, go! The tension is palpable. The grizzly and the brown bear are claw to claw. A brown bear can easily run as fast as a grizzly. The sun bear is the smallest bear in the race. It's about 6 feet long, or tall, or whatever. It just can't keep up. The polar bear got off to a great start, but it just doesn't have the speed of the grizzly or brown bear. Grizzly takes the lead. No, it's the brown bear. Now grizzly. Wait, where's panda? What's it doing? I don't think it knows it's a race, but isn't it cute? It just finished its 3rd bamboo stick. A panda bear can eat up to 28 pounds of bamboo a day. That's like a lot. But it's off. It found its shortcut and is rolling down that hill. It zooms past the grizzly and the brown bear. It's all over! Panda wins! Sorry, bears. We all know that the panda isn't exactly fast. It's actually one of the slowest bears. Still, if you see a panda rolling down the hill in your direction, run. A Boeing 747 has a top speed of around 620 miles per hour. The fastest bird is the gray-headed albatross. It can fly up to 80 miles per hour and stay up there for 10 hours without landing. The peregrine falcon is faster, but only when it's diving straight down to grab some takeout. Watch out, pigeon! Wow. Big planes take a long time to get up in the air, but the albatross? It's up and off in a few seconds. It's in the lead. But a few minutes later, back to Slow-Moville. The sloth's awake, that's good, but so far it's only managed to lift its arm to reach that tree branch. The garden snail's still trying to get past that big rock. Sloths spend a lot of their time as motionless as possible, so that they don't become someone else's breakfast. Not great training for a race. But hold on! Player 3 has entered the race. It's the Galapagos tortoise. Its powerful front legs carry this tank of an animal. It's a whopping 4 times faster than a garden snail. This just got interesting. We got ourselves the race that'll last a century. The tortoise is running and dodging every obstacle. Nothing can stop it. Hey, no cheating, sloth. Don't be dropping tree branches from up there. Deep underground, a mole's busy burrowing around. A mole can eat as many earthworms as his own body weight and can dig around 15 feet per hour. The American badger is the fastest digging animal in the world and is surprisingly fast on land. It can almost match the speed of a human on a good day. Head-to-head, the American badger wins the tunnel race pretty easily. Too bad the mole can't see where it's going. Moles aren't really blind. They just have terrible eyesight, and they're colorblind. And they can't wear glasses down there. Ah, the proud cheetah. It's sprinting across the savannah at warp speed. I've been the fastest land mammal for millions of years. I got this. The fastest cheetah on record was a sprinter named Sarah. When she was 11, she ran the 100 meters in under 6 seconds. A cheetah can run up to 80 miles per hour if it sees something tasty. Sarah was raised in an American zoo and was one of the first cheetahs to have a puppy buddy when she was growing up. Alexa and Sarah, friends forever.
Ah yes, driving through the countryside. Windows down, music, nice and loud. Just another road trip. You see a bunch of cows out the window. One of them really stands out. Literally. The other cows look like black and white hamsters. The Guinness World Record for tallest cow ever goes to this cow named Blossom. This big grass guzzler was 6'4". Somebody better buy that cow some basketball shoes. The average cow's only 4'5". Blossom must have felt like a giant. When you're that tall, you don't just hang around in a field eating grass. Blossom was the official greeter for a local resort. Big Jake. And believe me, big is an understatement. This guy got famous for being the world's tallest horse. Checking in at a whopping 6'11". We're gonna need a whole lot of basketball shoes. What a stud, which actually pretty much just means male horse, so... Now what about this little cutie? The world's shortest female horse. Her name is Thumbelina. What a perfect name. And she's only about 1'5". That didn't stop her from going viral though. Oh, and the shortest male horse is called Bumble. It means bubble in Polish. He's only 2 feet tall, but his heart is larger than life. So cute, and shorter than a greyhound. Now, I'm a full-out dog person. Well, regular-sized dog person. Zeus, a Great Dane, was officially the world's tallest dog. Being 3'8" on all fours made you think you were looking at a small horse. Imagine that face waking you up in the morning. And what about taking him out for a walk? You'd have needed a pretty strong leash. According to his owners, he was a gentle giant and was usually laid back, luckily. And Zeus had a really important job. He was a certified therapy dog, spreading his love and joy to all in need. Imagine a dog like that. You wouldn't need to put out a water bowl every day. He could just drink straight out of the tap. Hugging would be on a whole different level, too. How much do you think that guy ate? Would he have even fit on your bed? So many questions. Now what if you're a cat person? You'd better prepare yourself. Ha! Get it? Anyway, this cool cat over here has been called the world's longest domesticated cat. His name's Baravel, which means clown, and he comes from a small town in Italy. He's a gentle giant too, which is good because he's longer than a baseball bat. When they see a photo, people usually think he's been photoshopped. He enjoys basking in the sun by the window, staring out into the backyard. Hunting mice must feel like chasing ants to him. The previous title holders were called Ludo and Stewie, the same breed as Baravel. That's a lot of cat fur on my mom's new sofa. Sheesh. Hopping up next is a rabbit named Darius. His long ears and cute button nose aren't why he's special. A regular rabbit's about 14 inches, but Darius here, just over 50. That's basically a rabbit dog. Darius grew up on a farm in England, and living out in an open field gave him a super chill personality. Feeding him must be tough though. Darius must be a carrot-eating machine. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Enough of the cute stuff. Time for some more exotic animals. Maybe even mythical ones. Myths are just how people explain crazy things. Like the legend of the white-lipped man. That turned out to be just me eating cheesecake. Quick and shifty under the water, able to bring down an entire ship, the Kraken was famous for disappearing ships. That's what the legends say. Probably just a sailor's tale told to scare the new recruits. But researchers may have found its baby brother. The largest ever recorded squid was almost 60 feet long, but the researchers forgot to video it. No. The largest squid ever caught on camera was about 25 feet. That's like an RV. Scientists think there might be larger ones out there, but they're kind of camera shy. The great white shark, frightening ocean animals left and right. She's called the Queen of the Ocean. She's not one of those kind and gentle queens. Oh no. Scientists were able to tag her to study her more. This queen weighs about 3,500 pounds. That's like 6 motorbikes, or 14,000 hot dogs. She was caught in the waters off Nova Scotia by a team of terrified researchers. Good thing sharks only chill in the ocean. Unless, what about an episode of Shark Ninja Warriors? That was the biggest. Now, the longest. Good guess, but nope, definitely not a snake. But it is as long as half a football field. This animal was discovered in the deep waters off Australia. They found it there, glowing. And get this, scientists say it isn't even a single creature. It just acts like one. It's actually a whole colony, cloning and multiplying until it gets even bigger.
Wow, this guy has gained international fame for its, not-so-attractive looks. But it was an unfair competition. I'm talking about the one and only Blobfish. This thing was once on display in an aquarium, looking like a gloopy, slimy, blob. But underwater in its natural habitat, it looks like any other normal fish. It's a deep-sea dweller living off the coast of Australia. The blobfish thrives at around 3,000 feet below the surface. At those depths, the pressure is 120 times higher than what you and I are used to. In fact, only robust submarines can go that deep. This droopy creature doesn't have a skeleton or much muscle. Instead, it has jelly-like flesh to combat the extreme underwater pressure. You also won't find a great white shark in any aquarium you go to. In the past, many have tried adding great whites along other sharks in their tanks, but it never worked out. They'd stop eating and even struggle to swim. Doesn't make for great business either. It's too costly to keep the great white because a large enough tank will need millions of gallons of water. These fish don't like staying in one area for long. They prefer open waters where they can swim vast distances. We haven't seen one in captivity since the 1970s. The saola, better known as the Asian unicorn, was just discovered in 1992. It lives on the slopes of the Annamite Mountains between Laos and Vietnam. It looks like an antelope, but genetic tests show it's more closely related to cows. The saola is one of the rarest large mammals in the world. Surveys estimate there are just 70 to 750 left in the wild. Yeah, that's a pretty big range. Experts can't get a more specific number because they're impossible to spot. Only 2 have been caught and studied. On to the unicorns of the sea, narwhals. There are more than 80,000 of these creatures, but they're still near threatened. They've got long, narrow tusks protruding from their heads. This unicorn-like tusk is actually a tooth that can grow up to 10 feet. They belong to the whale family, but unlike their relatives, they don't migrate. Narwhals spend their lives in the Arctic waters of Greenland, Canada, Norway, and Russia. They live up to 50 years in the wild, but they can't make it in captivity. So, if you want to see one in real life, the zoo isn't the place to look. Unlike other creatures on the list, swallows are very common. You might recognize this pretty bird from those gorgeous blue feathers running from their head to tail. Even though they're one of the most widespread species, they're not suited for zoos. They eat on the fly, literally, and catch their food in the air, which is why they only feed on flying insects. They need to live in large aviary structures with plenty of flying room, and most zoos can't provide that. You'll find plenty of lowland gorillas in captivity. The same can't be said about mountain gorillas. These apes have longer hair and they're more grayish than brown. There are only about 1,000 of them in the wild, making them an endangered species. Mountain gorillas usually spend a quarter of their day eating. Back in the 60s and 70s, there were many attempts to catch them and start a captive population, but it was impossible. They might not do well in enclosed environments because of their particular dietary needs. Without those, the gorilla's health declined noticeably. Another issue could have been stress. Now, there aren't any mountain gorillas in any facility. Diving back into the water, we have the giant squid, a behemoth that inspired lore of the kraken. This creature remains a mystery to scientists. Their inhospitable deep-sea environment has made them hard to study. The only research scientists could do was from rare specimens that washed up on the shore. In 2004, researchers in Japan snapped the first pic of a live giant squid. 2 years later, they managed to bring one up to the surface. Because they live so deep in the sea, their eyes are the size of a beach ball. They can see things in the darkest places of the ocean where other creatures would struggle to see anything at all. To this day, the giant squid has never been caught or kept in captivity to be studied in full. Next, we've got the rarest large mammal on the planet, the Javan rhino. Less than 70 are left, and they all live in a national park on the island of Java, Indonesia. Of the 5 total rhino species, they're the most endangered one. Scientists aren't sure how long they live, but guess somewhere between 30 to 40 years. The area where they live is vulnerable to tsunamis, and they're also close to many active volcanoes. If any of them erupts, the Javan rhino could go extinct. Uh-oh, villains are everywhere on Earth. Why they showed up all at once, we'll never know. What we need is a hero. Hopefully one that doesn't wear their underwear on the outside. Time to step up, scientists! Down in the lab, they're already busy selecting the best bits of DNA nature has to offer. The plan? Take the best bits from different animals and mix it all into the ultimate all-natural superhero serum. Superheroes are fast, very fast. Nature's hero needs quick reflexes, and none compare to the long-legged fly. When startled, this fly has a response time of less than 5 milliseconds. If you tried to photograph this little guy, it would come out blurry 9 times out of 10. Hey, must be camera shy. But being able to dodge out of a photo might not be the exact skill our hero needs. How about some DNA from one of the smartest invertebrates? I'm talking about lightning-fast reflexes and amazing reaction skills. Octopuses are one of nature's greatest escape artists. They're even smarter than some humans. Maybe a lot of humans. Each octopus has 3 hearts and 9 brains. Oh, and it hates wearing a suit to work. Every arm, they're actually not tentacles, has a brain of its own, with a central donut-looking brain controlling the body as a whole. That means each arm can move around like its own person. It can react faster than a pro baseball player, even with 8 gloves. But that's not all the octopus can give our hero. They, along with cuttlefish, have sweet camouflage skills. Their skin can match the color, texture, and pattern of their background. Hide-and-seek champions, members of that family, so basically squid, cuttlefish, snails, slugs, and the super genius octopus are actually colorblind. Scientists are as confused as you are. What makes these creatures unique is that they have light-sensing cells all over their skin, not just in their eyes. Imagine being able to see with your entire body. 360 vision, not bad for a superhero. Super strength is the next challenge, and the dung beetle's ready to step up. It can pull over 1,000 times its own weight, so relative to body weight, it's the strongest animal out there. That's like you hauling around 13 elephants, or 35,000 chihuahuas. Hey, where'd all those dogs even come from? The dung beetle makes it look easy, plus it moves objects around by doing a handstand. Our hero definitely needs that. Time for protection. If you're expecting nature to lend us pangolin or armadillo skin DNA, you'd be way off. Nature's hero needs to be agile too. The best bet is to mix in some camel skin DNA. It's a desert animal, so it makes sense that its skin is ridiculously tough. It can withstand the burning hot desert sand and the blazing hot sun. At least, scientists didn't choose whale skin, even though it's the toughest by far. Having skin over a foot thick might give a superhero great protection, but getting through a door would be a real problem. There's two main things that life needs in order to survive: oxygen and water. Our hero shouldn't have to worry about that kind of stuff, especially if villains are around. Scientists decide to mix in a little Bornean flathead frog and thorny devil lizard DNA. That way our hero won't ever have to stop by the convenience store for some bottled water. The flat-headed frog doesn't need lungs. Its body absorbs oxygen through its skin. Being so flat gives it a huge surface area. It isn't exactly the most efficient way to get oxygen, so it's a good thing the frog doesn't need to move around too much. The thorny lizard can give our hero protection, but it's also got a clever water transportation technique. It sucks up water through its feet, so it never needs to stop for a drink. Just like a sponge, the water defies gravity and gets sucked upwards. So, nature's hero just needs to step on something wet instead of carrying a bottle around. Being a superhero is hard work and takes time. We don't need our hero stopping for a taco every couple of hours instead of saving the world. The green sea slug drifts around shallow waters, trying to find itself some delicious algae. Once it's had its fill, it's done. For months, or even forever. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.